Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Bridge, the official 10-7 Capital podcast. My name, as always, is Tyler, and this is our founder and CEO, Timnihill. And last episode, if you remember, we talked a lot about the concept of the family office, what it entails, where it came from, and where it's going. This episode, if you didn't see last episode, definitely encourage you to go see it. Be sure to check it out.
Sponsored by Tim Hortons.
Yeah, you wish.
Timbits, they're good for you. I'm just joking.
Mm-hmm. They are. We love them. So if you didn't catch last week's episode, definitely we encourage you to check it out. You can check it out on our channel. But this episode, we're going to kind of do more of a deep dive, more of an introspective. We are basically going to be talking about how the family office concept and structure relates to us and how we found it and how we use it. So for start, I think the best place to,
start?
Yeah, the best place to start would be where we were before.
Watch The Matrix.
Talk about kind of where was 10-7 structurally as a company? What did it look like structurally before the family office concept really came into play? And then we'll touch on how you found that after. But walk us through kind of was it more of a traditional wealth management firm? Was it something else? What did it look like?
Yeah, it started off as a traditional wealth management firm and divorce consulting. So, your mom and I are trained in, she's mediation. I had my CDFA, which is a Certified Divorce Financial Analyst designation. Collaborative law, all that good stuff. So, yeah, we started off as a wealth management firm. And we grew and evolved into a multifamily family office structure. And at some point in the very near future, we're going to look to take it to a single family office structure. Mm-hmm. Because it's just less and less regulations and reporting and auditing and all that good stuff. And at the end of the day, conceptually, we're a philosophy play. If you're like, oh, I want to go in the markets and chase performance, we're not for you. Good luck. Right? We're definitely Tony Robbins, holy grail of investing, wealthy investing, mimicking what the uber wealthy do, and then just bring that all the way down market. And, it takes us away from having to watch the markets every day.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what you were doing before, just having to watch the markets every day and getting sort of immersed in these concepts that we've talked a lot about before of just being so antiquated, we just had to watch them anyway.
Yeah, and it's not even that. When you're in the markets, you have to understand that the public markets are completely fraudulent. So it never made sense to me to put my future 30, 40 years down the line into something that we don't even know if it's going to be around. Mm-hmm. And I know that in the manner, 30 years from now, the markets aren't even going to be there. Shoot, 36 months from now, the markets are no longer going to be around. Stocks and bonds are going bye-bye. So what's the point? Right? And it never made sense to me to think about, I have to put my money into a casino because that's all the markets are, and then pray to God I hit red or black and the number at the roulette table in order to have a healthy retirement. And I just watched it. And when you look at it, financial planning to me doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. It's great if you want to be a saver, buy the S&P 500 index, asset allocation, all that good stuff. For me, that's some of the most boring work.
It's great if you live in
imaginable.
the 80s.
Yeah, it's great if you live in Hades, I guess. So I just took my thesis, right? And I said, hey, if we do, I didn't know it at the time that it was family office because the concept kind of appeared to me I'd seen it and never looked into it, blah, 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 whatever.
Oh, so you kind of came upon the principles of the family office concept without knowing that it already had a term attached to it.
I was already doing it. in, I would say, a little bit of a watered down fashion. No, that's not the right way to say it. I was doing it through a traditional wealth management lens. And then I realized, well, I should just restructure the entire thing into a family office.
Mm-hmm.
And now what we do is it's twofold, right? First and foremost, outside of managing our own money, we provide family office services to families out there that want to take this concept and build their own. And it's funny because I got the question this week. They're like, someone was like, well, don't you need to be uber wealthy to have a family office? And the answer is no. Like, you could start the structure of a family office pretty much from almost nothing.
Yeah, like what we're doing really is bringing it down market, because you look at a lot of like people have that concept of, oh, you need to be uber wealthy because uber wealthy people almost always have family offices, which is why they're able to maintain and grow and do all these crazy things with their wealth, and why they'll like never lose their, like Elon Musk, I think last year lost like $200 billion and it did nothing to him.
Right. That's amazing,
Which,
by the way.
like, there are
well, that's the thing is when
he lost more dollars than there are people on the planet.
Yeah. And that's the thing, when you get to that level, mm-hmm. you learn something very interesting about money. And you learn that money's really made up. Mm-hmm. It's a currency, it's an energy. And if you understand that, then there really is no volatility to your life, because you understand that there's an infinite amount of money and resources available.
It's like, you ever heard of like the Game Shark or the Game Gear?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like using those like cheat devices. In my generation on the DS, it was the Action Replay.
Yep.
When you use those cheat devices, and then you basically, give yourself a whole bunch of crap in a video game, and so then you just are able to basically coast through the entire game. It's like, oh yeah, then sure, it's easy, but then it's like, what's the point of the game?
Well, and at that point, the point of the game is to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I find absolutely hysterical when you look at a lot of the stuff that's out there on social media, and it comes from a scarcity mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw something with what's that guy with the black hair who interviews everybody, and it's almost like he's Serbian or Croatian or something.
I don't know his name. The guy with the black hair who interviews everybody?
Black hair. Here, I'll bring up YouTube.
How old is he?
I would have to say probably mid-50s.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I know a guy with black hair who interviews everybody, but he's like in his 20s.
Yeah.
And he's French.
And he's sitting across from this socialist, and this woman's complaining, I can't afford more because I work at Starbucks and you shouldn't have all this money. He's like, dude, I used to work for $4.25 an hour. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no offense, get better. Work harder.
But like that's what we're doing, is we're bringing the family office concept down market. Like, what I was saying is basically,
definitely,
all of these uber wealthy people, almost always have family offices. And then what I was going to say was, like, what we're doing is essentially bringing that concept to people who obviously,
$1 million and up.
Yeah, like $1 million. Like, obviously not people who are like just on the street or whatever, but like,
right.
People who have money but don't have like ridiculous amounts of money, right?
No,
and we're bringing it to them too.
Right. I would say most people we work with are self-starters.
Yeah. That
came from nothing. And it's really it's hard work to become wealthy sometimes. Mm-hmm. It can be. Especially when you don't come from money and you're starting from zero.
Yeah.
Like, to get out of that paradigm where you're working for everybody else, you're trying to save a buck, you're getting absolutely crushed by monetary policy because it doesn't support you. And then you go into organizations and you're making firms millions and billions of dollars and they're paying you six figures.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's great that you can pay me mid to high six figures, but that's not good enough for me because of what I can do on my own.
Yeah, that's why so many people.
That's where I get to like, right, and that's where I get like, okay, so if you look at, I would say the average age that our people quote unquote retire by is they're retired by the time they're 54. Most financial advisors are taking people out to 67, 72 now. Who the hell wants to work that long? Yeah, 6'7", bro.
Ah, damn. I thought you wouldn't notice. I was trying to sneak it.
I did see that. And it's very similar to when you play Monopoly. You go around the board, you buy everything that you can, right?
Yeah.
So right now the United States is running around bombing the world with Israel and the Middle East. And, Venezuela's taking over. Iran's going to be the next. They're going after Cuba. I guess we need better cigars, which I'm fine with, man. If we can get some Cubans, sweet.
They did like a perestroika thing the other, like they basically started negotiating with the U.S. immediately, and they were like, all right, we're gonna let the exiles back in, we're gonna open up the economy, like they're starting that whole 1980s Soviet Union type thing. They just started it.
They sure are.
Which is crazy because they haven't done that for years.
Right, but then they
got like 1950s automobiles in there.
Right, but it's one of those things where I'm still trying to find this. I'll find it. It'll come up.
Was it Joe Rogan?
No, but he's similar to Joe Rogan, and he has the file cabinets in the back. And he's always dressed to the nines, like suit and tie and all that jazz. But anyways, okay, so let's conceptualize Family Office and compare it to Monopoly. Mm-hmm. You're an entrepreneur or a high income earner. You can't get married and you can't fall in love with the salary because one day it goes away, right? And that's the biggest problem that people don't understand is you can make $500,000 today and tomorrow that could go to zero, especially with AI. So basically, I structure myself properly from the beginning. I go around the board and I buy up as much as I can the first couple times around the board. I own everything. I own Reading Railroad. I own the utilities. I own some of the, maybe Park Place, Boardwalk, Pennsylvania Avenue, Tennessee, New York, St. James, all that good jazz. Mm-hmm. And maybe I pick up a couple good chance community chest cards and some get out of jail frees. Mm-hmm. Waterworks sounds like a really good idea right now. And I basically buy up everything I possibly can that's a real asset. Because what I want to do is I want to live off of everybody else paying me.
Yeah.
So I get to the point where now I've structured my finances. And like, for example, look at the war that's going on right now. Oh, oil's going through the roof. Fine by me. Doesn't bother us any. Why? Well, we own all the oil. We own the land. We own the royalties. We own the lease agreements. We own the distribution. We own the drilling. We, could be oil, natural gas, mm-hmm. solar fields if you want, although those are starting to really go away. Wind's going to go away. So I think hydrogen's going to be the next big thing. So do I care that oil prices are going up? No, because I'm getting paid when they go up. Mm-hmm. And I'm making more money percentage-wise by owning, because everybody that goes to a gas station, oh yeah, I own the gas stations. We own the gas stations too, which are incredible income-generating machines, by the way. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to talk about an inflation hedge. So, no, why? The why is because when you go in, not only do you mark up the gas as the price of oil goes up, but then you go into the store and every single number on that shelf for a bag of Skittles, box of popcorn, whatever, your what the Zyn things, right? Zyn.
Oh God, yeah. Zyn.
So
it's basically just direct nicotine. It's so stupid.
So gas stations are cash cows because inside the store I just raise prices too. So I'm never losing to inflation. I'm always winning, and I'm just applying my net margins on top of the increased cost of living. So I'm incrementally always making money and always focused on my profitability. And then everybody that goes to a gas station is buying stuff from us, right? And then from there, you have the structure to where, honestly, on paper, I'm worth nothing, right? Like, If I have like one of the biggest issues people have with winning the lottery is the second that your name gets published out in the market, you get a whole slew of people trying to find where you live and the property you own so they can hurt themselves, and sue you for your lotto winnings.
Yeah.
On top of the fact you have to pay taxes on half of that stuff. So we use tax-efficient investing so we don't have to give away huge chunks of money like that. And then you have it structured in, and it could be anything. Like if someone says, don't do an LLC, or, set up an LLC, like just turn and walk away already. Everybody's situation is different. And there's a myriad of solutions out there between corporate structures, private structures, trust structures, charitable structures.
Yeah.
It's the entire spectrum. So then you get to the point where whether you're starting from scratch or you've built it and you need to become your own family office, you then start structuring your assets, getting them out of your name, and having them into basically your own family trust, to where that entity is now a living, breathing organism. Mm-hmm. And then what you do is you say, okay, I gathered all these assets. Let's say I have $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, and, I'm 45, 50, 55 years old. I'm not sure I could quite kick back on that yet. Well, you need a new investment structure. You take more of an institutional approach, right? Mm-hmm. And this is the great thing with AI is we've been able to build our own, which replicates and has the thought process that we had managing money at BlackRock on the institutional side. So it's a very institutional solution and investment strategy and diversification strategy. Mm-hmm. We're not chasing returns because we don't care. Like some of our holdings have to play out. It's 3, 5, 7, 10, 20-year holdings. So we don't care. We put our money in the spots that we know are going to win. And then you keep stacking and stacking and stacking, and then move up a capital structure. So if something goes zero, you always get paid out because you're not a common stock and bond holder. So we grew out of the wealth management space. We grew into the family office. We went from having LLPs and LLCs to structuring a C Corp, domiciling in Delaware, home registration state for our RIA is out of Florida. We don't talk about assets under management because in our world, that's the number one question. Oh, what do you have in assets under management? And it's like...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know how to count it all. And you just get, and you have checks for everybody coming in from everywhere. So the people that are playing the performance game, S&P 500, and it was funny because Tony Robbins updated his numbers too, because he said if you did $1 million in 86 and invested in the public markets and equities like the S&P 500, you'd have like just over $50 million by the end of 2024. Mm-hmm. Now, if I did it my way, and the holy grail of investing, as in all the successful business people and the wealthy do, I don't have 50 million. I have 257 million. Which would you rather have?
More than 257 million. Why stop there?
That's exactly it. So you just get it to the point where the money compounds on top of itself, the assets compound on top of itself. And then you sit around every day and you're recording whatever you're recording, drinking a cup of coffee at 2 p.m. on a random Tuesday because you had a, trip fall through.
It's Wednesday, by the way.
Is it Wednesday? Yeah, see, I don't even know what
yeah, exactly. That's the point.
So days don't even exist. It doesn't matter what day. Like, I don't work Monday through Friday. I work whenever I feel like it every day of the week.
I mean, this is going to go out on most likely either Saturday or Monday, but we're recording this on a Wednesday.
Right. So then I have the family office structure. Me as an individual, I don't have anything in my name. I have it all protected. And this is applicable for anyone that has a family office. And this is what we do for all of our clients. So then they're building their assets are building upon those assets, and then you have all this cash coming in from all these other different assets. And when you're sitting here thinking and watching the war, Markets go up 5%, they drop 7, up 2, down 5. Who cares? We know that what we own is pretty much 95 to 97% of the time going to win.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about everyone's so... it's almost like trying to game the system inside a casino. And even that's getting harder to game now because now they have the new computer-run games.
Yeah.
Right? Slot machines, things like that.
The way I see it is you have to be like Polymarket.
It'd be like when I went to a couple years ago when we took the twins down to Foxwoods for their birthday, and we did golf and all that. And I saw the Buffalo Bills, the big slot machine in the middle.
Yeah.
I hit the jackpot. It went off, and you guys were there. You, Ryan, and
Oh
and
yeah,
we were there. Remember that?
I saw.
And then I went to hit the button to cash out because it was like going nuts, and I don't even know how much I would have won. It was a huge number, and then all of a sudden the machine went boom, gone. I call over the pit boss. I'm like, dude, I just hit the jackpot. Oh, sorry, sir. This is part of the new gaming system, and if it goes blank while you're trying to cash out or cash in a jackpot, you lose.
Also known as, oh crap, we would have having to given you a lot of money. We don't want that.
Right. I couldn't believe it. So and I'm like, well, go pull the tape, man. Nothing. So that's what the markets are.
Well, because you're not supposed to.
And by the way, if you don't think the markets are, if the markets are, well, right, you're not supposed to win at the casino, but the computers are. And now our markets are going to computer-based markets. So it doesn't, in our world, none of that stuff matters. It's all noise. And so when you structure family office, investment strategy, real diversification, tax strategy, and then risk management, you just sit back and just watch the money grow. And the toughest part of this that I've experienced when you come from a place where you're taught you have to work hard, you're a high performer and all that jazz. The hardest thing to do is shut it down. Yeah,
because you're just so used to it. And you're terrified that if you stop...
You're terrified. You get the fear that, oh my God, if I stop, it's going to go away. And that's the biggest problem that people have that have gone from 0 to 10 million on their own. They're like, it's never enough because you always have that scarce mindset in the back of your mind. You're always afraid it's going to go to 0.
Yeah.
But with the family office structure, I now know, well, it's never going to go to 0. Or if it does, it's 100, 200, 300 years out, at least. So, yeah, then my day-to-day is different. My cup of coffee in the morning is different. It doesn't mean that
there's an air of
unorganized. Yeah,
to your day.
It's a lot lighter. It's a lot cleaner, too.
Yeah. You don't wake up with, like, an existential fear of, like, okay, if I do something, if I don't do so-and-so today, then, like, I'm screwed.
Right.
You can breathe.
You can leave. You could leave the entire thing. So it's kind of funny because I've been watching a bunch of Matrix stuff lately. And
the Matrix.
The Matrix. You have to understand that public investing is part of a monetary system that most people don't understand and cannot comprehend. It's that simple, right? Like, we talked about credit scores the other day. They're the most insane concept ever. Everyone lives their life according to it because, the bank is going to give me a bad rate. Well, if you're being told what to do with your money, and I'm sorry, when you have a system that is totally fraudulent, like when you go through a divorce and your ex can kill your credit score without any repercussions, I'm not participating.
Yeah, is that her credit score or your credit score?
No, it goes on yours because your name's on top of it.
No, I'm saying they treat it as if it's like her credit score.
When you argue against charges you don't believe are accurate with a company like Honda Finance, And they say, no, you paid us a day late, even though we were we were challenging the amount we were charging, and we had opened up a customer service case and escalated it to management. Oh, and we settled 2 days after and paid that 2 days after. Oh, we're going to whack your credit score for 80 points. One time, honestly, fuck off, banks. If you don't want to know why crypto, credit system and credit score should tell you everything. And how does it feel being a slave to the bank? Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, you give them your money, you sign off and tell them, oh, I agree this is not my money anymore, so you could do what you want with it. It's not there. And then
yeah.
And then when you want to take it out, they tell you can't.
Fundamentally, people have a choice to either be people have to make the choice to either be actual people and actually be human and have agency, or just be cattle. And most people are just cattle.
And they're taught that way. I thought his name was Michael Thomas something. I don't know why I can't find this.
You're gonna keep looking. You're gonna keep looking for this guy for like the entire thing.
For sure. So the point is, when you structure your own family office, you don't worry about a lot of stuff anymore. And then if you get to the point where you can become your own bank, well, I don't need a credit score because I'm just going to borrow against my own assets.
Yeah, it helps.
And that's where you win, and you really win with Monopoly, because once you on the board and everybody's paying you, sorry for interrupting, then you take half your assets, as an example, not saying you should, you lend against it, and then you buy more assets that make more money. Mm-hmm. And that's good leverage. That's not a bad thing, but what is everyone taught? That is bad. Well, do I care if I'm paying 10, 15% if I'm making 100? I still have an 85% profit margin, right? And it comes down to, what does that bottom line look like? So, yeah, once you get to 1 to 10 million, you got to figure out how to take it higher, and you should, because why not?
Yep. And I was gonna say as well, like, there's also a like the family office structure, the concept also changes things from a compliance sense as well, in a sense that it just makes everything lighter. Because the one thing that I feel like a lot of people get wrong about compliance is that it is a bureaucratic nightmare. And that's because compliance departments across the traditional wealth management field have made it a bureaucratic nightmare, because they can get chargeable hours and they can just ring the system. It's no different than how the rest of the system has been hijacked. The thing about compliance, fundamentally, the thing about compliance is it is very easy. It doesn't seem easy, but it is very easy. Especially now with AI, all you have to do is look up a law, read it, look up any cases that may have been influenced by it, just so you have precedent, just so you have that case law, and just cobble everything together. It's like a homework assignment, like out of high school. It takes like if you're trying to look up basically like a specific rule or something like that, I would say it probably takes like at most an hour to cobble everything together, and then just send a quick message to whoever's asking, like, hey, this is, what the rule is, and then just offer advice. That's what compliance should be, and the problem is that departments have arisen that bloat the entire thing. Did you find it?
I did find it. Was it Valuetainment?
Well, don't turn the volume on.
I'm not. What is this guy's name?
I don't know.
Isn't it Patrick something?
John Morgan.
Well, he's interviewing John Morgan.
Yeah. Oh, no, the guy.
Yeah.
The guy.
Valuetainment is Patrick PBD.
Yeah, I'm looking. PBD podcast.
He does a lot of good interviews.
Patrick Bet David.
Yeah, that's who.
That's who it is.
That's
Patrick
who.
Bet-David.
I like a lot of his stuff. Although Terrence Howard, Bitcoin is going to die. Actually, Terrence, it's not. At least for 100 years.
He's actually from Iran. Did you know that?
Great. So, you know, I find it very interesting how people follow other people with a blind conviction. And you should never talk to non-finance people about finance sometimes. Like, it's great you go to your science, but don't tell people out there who are trying to get outside the system and establish their own personal freedom to buy one of the most important asset classes to get out of it.
Yeah.
Like, that just, there's a lack of ethos there that I think needs to be handled.
Yeah. So I think, if to sum it up really, you know, what we do here at 10-7 as far as the family office concept is concerned is basically approach wealth and approach finance for our clients in a much more simple and streamlined way, because it doesn't have to be as complicated as it needs to be. And a lot of these platforms, as we've mentioned on previous episodes, are just trying to feed beasts of their own. You know, like, our job is to, like, the concept of the family office, the structure of it is centered around, you know, the family. It's centered around the client. We're just here to help the client, very simply. Like, we don't have a choice.
No, it's easier than that. We help people.
There's no beast to feed. The clients are the beast.
Right. We
feed them.
Right. We provide virtual family offices to families and businesses, and we help them establish and run and manage their own family office or business family office. That's part one. The second part that we do for not just individuals, families, and companies, but also other financial professionals, is we do investment strategies that they can't do. Tax offsets, alternative investments, real assets, private credit, which is getting a terrible name right now in the market, but there's a reason for that. Why are they kicking at private credit right now? I wonder. So, and there's a difference between public private credit and private credit. So, for everyone scrambling over BlackRock shutdown redemptions, yeah, great, standard procedure. It creates buying opportunities for us on the backside. So, it's, you know, private equity, hedge funds, digital assets, things that people can't get from their banker. And that includes financial planning, because financial planners are glorified bankers. You know, we do stuff that they can't do, don't have access to. And I find it to be very interesting, because we've definitely taken on Gen Tech and have adopted. And, you know, I was sitting with a client yesterday who's tasked with taking a company, and they're going to take their workforce from, with the adaptation of technology, they're going to take their workforce from 10,000 people to about 1,600 to 2,000. So they're going to eliminate 80% of positions. And if you're sitting there and you're a saver and an investor, and most of your money's in a retirement account, guess what you're doing? You're dipping into that very early. So no, I don't. Yeah, a lot of what we grew into and evolved into is because we just think that financial planning and banking and saving and investment as it's taught and ingrained in us is worthless. It's the whole process is to get you to zero.
Yeah.
How you're just trying to kick the can on how far you go to zero. And my concept is, well, I don't believe
in zero
in that manner, right?
Yeah.
I believe in zero as a nothingness in which infinity comes out of.
The traditional mindset is that mindset of scarcity. It is
family office is
stave
about
off zero.
Yeah, family office is about abundance, mindset, and abundance and structure. And when you really study history, and you study banking, and you study humanity, you understand that you can't do what people are trying to tell you to do. And and in today's times, especially with what's happening in the world, like, you better have your financial arc built.
Yeah. You mentioned this last episode. Yeah. It's very much like an arc.
We built an arc. So our arc will go through any storm. We're great swimmers too, but I'd rather have the arc.
And that's kind of what we're here at the bridge for, because we're building the bridge from land to that arc. You got to get on.
Got to get on board. That's a good one.
I think that being said, I think we've crossed the bridge for today. Unless you have anything else you want to add?
I'm good. Cheers. Good luck out there. It's going to get very interesting.
For sure. But as always, definitely be sure to like, subscribe, stay in tune with all the content that we're putting out.
Go Sabres.
And go Sabres, for sure. But, yep, this has been Tim and Tyler here at 107 Capital, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.